Home opener, number 14 in the history of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Memorable, special, and Ian Kennedy helped to make it so. Command of all four pitches, quick footwork, cleaning up the bases. The offense and the defense getting it done. All sorts of support for the man on the mound. Daniel Hudson and his explosive right arm would love that tonight. Speaking of tonight, all eyes on Chase. The Reds, the D-backs, game 2. Nice long homestand, rolls on. It still rolls right off the tongue. It is so good to be home. This is my personal favorite day of the season, day 2 after the opener. We find out who's in it for the long haul. It's the Cincinnati Reds, a dangerous team. The Arizona Diamondbacks, glad to have you with us on Fox Sports Arizona. And we're honored. You folks are in for the long haul. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Welcome back to the ballpark. And right out of the gates, we find out about a catcher who's in it for the long haul. Miguel Montero. As a matter of fact, I have a little prop here.
What is that?
That's we like to call that Mini Miggy. But there is nothing mini about him. As a matter of fact, we can get the mask off there. His eyes are clearly seeing the baseball right now.
See, right there, once you take the mask off, he becomes a hitter, doesn't he?
He's a big-time hitter. Why has he been so red hot? His numbers, first of all, they're somewhat silly. They're video game numbers. They're Nintendo numbers that we used to play when we were young. Why is he getting it done so early, so successfully?
Well, when you see somebody this successful, folks, it's because he's on top of everything. He's hitting fastballs. He's hitting breaking balls. He's hitting changeups. He's handling the outer part of the plate. He's handling the inner part of the plate. And when you do that, that's when you're going to be locked in. And that's exactly what Miguel Montero's doing. And that's why he finds himself catching every single ball game.
You know, Kirk Gibson saying before the game, his manager, that he thought maybe Miguel Montero, and I think his offense has helped make this decision easier, might catch the rotation through twice, 2 times through, which is 10 consecutive starts. Tonight, he catches Daniel Hudson. First time out, worked through some early struggles, some early jitters, but there's no denying what we learned about Daniel Hudson last year. That's a gifted right arm. It's explosive stuff.
And he came in and he dominated the National League when he was traded over from the Chicago White Sox for Edwin Jackson. He came in and he showed an explosive right arm, as you said, with a fastball that's in the low to mid-90s, but he gets it by people. Then he's got also, do you think Ian Kennedy's got a great changeup? I think Daniel Hudson has as good a changeup as Ian Kennedy. So we're hoping that we can see him maybe get a little challenged by Ian Kennedy's success last night and maybe carry that into tonight.
And oh, by the way, since the beginning of last season, he is facing the most dangerous offense in all of the National League in these Cincinnati Reds. Watch that arm angle. You don't want to see it getting too low. We'll keep our eye on that tonight for Daniel Hudson. Kirk Gibson on a mission, and when we come back, Brad Stanky will join us. He will explain Gibby's mission, what his plans are, not only to win baseball games, to win fans back, to create a bit of a foundation, to rebuild this franchise to where it once was.
Field, the home of the 2011 Major League All-Star Game. You see some of the changes on the outside. They've got some changes on the inside as well. You know, even though it's early in the season, we are starting to see signs that the culture of the Diamondbacks is starting to change. In spring training, Kirk Gibson with an emphasis on fundamentals. During the regular season, they've been incredibly aggressive running the bases. Even yesterday, taking infield and outfield practice, Kirk Gibson wants to get the foundation set for this franchise, get it back to its winning ways. It's our Geico quote of the game.
I've said it in some of my pressers that we're not the same team. We've played very aggressively. You don't see anybody loafing, and I don't think anybody's questioning their heart and their desire and their willingness to try things. Okay, we're on a mission to compete for postseason ball. Okay, it takes time. It is a journey, and like we can't be determined or deterred from pushing through till we get there.
Well, if they get another great start like they did last night from Ian Kennedy, from Daniel Hudson, they'll be in great shape. He'll face Bronson Arroyo. Darren Sutton, Mark Grace have the call. First pitch headed your way. On Fox Sports Arizona, D-backs baseball is up next.
Gila River Casinos, play slots with your Players Club card. You could win up to $20,000. Jack in the Box. Right now, get the All-American Jack combo, fries and a drink, only $4.99. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited rewards, seats, no blackout dates. Southwest Airlines. Glad to have you with. Sun peeking through on some of our gorgeous scenics, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Getting ready to go toe-to-toe with the Cincinnati Reds. We know, if you look outside of your window, the sun has disappeared and may be gone until tomorrow. The roof is closed. We are indoors. Drew Stubbs will lead it off. Daniel Hudson with that unique arm angle. Just above sidearm goes to work and does so with strike one. 93 miles an hour. Glad to have you with us on a Saturday night in Phoenix, Arizona. Pieced it together nicely. Struggled early in his outing. You can see the numbers overall just fine. 3 runs allowed in 6 innings as that one misses low. 1-1 the count.
Just made a couple of quote-unquote bad pitches up there in Colorado, but as you said, didn't panic, pieced it together nicely, kept his ball club in the game. That's what you want from a starter.
Bottom of the order guys got him as that one is rolled third baseline. Iannetta got him, and the pitcher Jorge De La Rosa got him as well. 1-2 the count. Power and speed combined in one package with this young man, Drew Stubbs, a Texan. 22 home runs and 30 stolen bases last year. Plus, He's a big guy.
Ooh. Tried to climb the ladder there, 95 miles an hour, but just crowded Stubbs enough to keep him from swinging at it.
Virginia born and raised, Daniel Hudson. Still 24 years old. Change up, it was up at the belt, but still it slammed on the brakes. That's what made it so effective. Let's take a look at the Reds as penciled in by skipper Dusty Baker, top to bottom. This is a dangerous offense. Phillips, Votto, Scott Rowland. Johnny Gomes has been quiet this year, though he's been patient as can be. It's Bruce, it's Hannigan, it's Giannis, and at the bottom, Brunson Arroyo, who has always handled the bat very effectively. Baker talking before the game in a conversation we had about his defense. And the man sitting off to his left, television right, Chris Spire, is the man that gets all the credit down there for pushing the defenders like this young man every single day. 0-1.
Now, Chris Spire was one of my coaches here when I was with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he is a guy that demands perfection from his infielders. He was a great fielding infielder, a shortstop with most notably the Giants.
Phillips slices that one the other way, took a fastball out over the plate, and the second baseman who does all that work with Spire gets it going, and gets it going with a single to right. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Gerardo Parra, Chris Young, Justin Upton, Melvin Morris, Stephen Drew, Kelly Johnson, Russell Brandon. The one thing you know as you look, Mickey in there again, Willie Bloomquist is not. Russell Brandon is at first base. But Willie Bloomquist watches from the bench tonight.
That's a gutsy move by Kirk Gibson.
We know the guts that Gibson has.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I just never had the guts to sit my hottest hitter. But he knows him better than any of us.
Talked before the game, Gibson did, about playing time and continuing to find playing time for everyone. Parra hitting in that lineup very effectively. Essentially, it's not a Drew anymore for Bloomquist move. Not at all. Stephen Drew's healthy. He's your shortstop.
He's a shortstop. Absolutely. He's one of the keystones of this organization.
But it's a decision maybe, as that one is in on the corner to the reigning MVP. 2-1.
Well, what a pretty 2-0 pitch there from Daniel Hudson. Zipped it to the inside corner, and that froze the very dangerous and very talented Joey Votto.
But what a job in Drew's absence Bloomquist did, and then played left field last night and continued to stay hot. Votto takes high. 3-1 the count. Votto, a late home run last night, was bullied in quite a bit. The word on the street is he is being pitched inside even more this year.
No, I think you have to. He's got those big, strong arms. He likes to get them extended. They're going to go away. Change up. Beautiful.
3-2 the count.
Just the off speed, and you can see Votto a big rip at it, but right through it.
27 years old, Votto. In his handful of seasons in the major leagues, he's already a .316 career hitter. Big power. Runner goes. Slice the other way. Phillips was on the move.
Dusty Baker pressing the accelerator there, trying to stay out of the double play. My big-time hitters like Joey Votto or Albert Pujols or an A-Rod, somebody like that, I never really liked runners in motion too much. I liked them to just sit back and pick out the pitch they want to hit, rather than have a whole bunch of commotion going on out there in front of them.
Runner goes inside. It's called a ball. Tagged out. They say Votto did not go around, so it's a non-issue. No tag, no out if he did not go around.
Yeah, Ted Barrett, the third base umpire, said that Joey Votto checked his swing.
Phillips tweaked something, hopped up off of that bag.
Yeah, he'll be just fine. He's kind of reminds me a lot of Orlando Hudson. Even when he's perfectly healthy, he's got a little hitch in his giddy up.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Here's veteran Scott Rowland.
Always kind of walks with just a little bit of a limp.
Mm-hmm. Last night he had a flair for the dramatic and not doing what he wanted to offensively. Ian Kennedy did a nice job at keeping that hop and step and jump all uncomfortable. 0-1 the count. The Reds own the National League first handful of games, and now they have begun to be quieted down. You don't want to criticize the Reds as much as you want to give a little bit of credit to a guy like Ian Kennedy yesterday and the job that Ian did, and Brett Myers the day before. These are two pitchers that were respected pitchers the entire year last year in the National League, Kennedy and Myers in Houston. To right field, pitch up out over the plate. Upton charges. The throw into the cutoff man, and right away the Cincinnati Reds bounce back. There's a hit with a runner in scoring position, and for Rowland, 9 RBIs this year, 1-0 Cincinnati. Up out over the plate.
Yeah, it looked like Hudson really dropped down, almost sidearm on that pitch right there, and that, you see, that's almost a sidearm delivery there. And because of that, he's not getting that extra hop, and he's able to get squared up. And nice piece of hitting there by Rowland.
By the way, we were watching Brandon Phillips as he raced around and scored. He was, as you said, just fine.
He was just fine.
Now back in that dugout, there's a little more of a hitch. Open stance, loaded back leg, outside, 1-0 the count to Johnny Gomes. 3 times in his major league career, the California native has homered 20 or more times. Last year, he didn't reach that mark. It may have been his finest hour, though. 18 homers, nearly 90 RBIs.
He had a fabulous year for these playoff-bound Reds, as that one just misses low, 2-0. So a struggle here early for Daniel Hudson. After striking out Drew Stubbs, base hit, walk, base hit, leads to a 1-0 lead here for the Reds.
Pitch is high, 3-0 the count. And for Hudson, we came to see almost perfection every time out last year. It was a joy to watch him work. See if he can settle things down and get it to where he wants to be. That's a high strike. 3-1 the count. The first inning against the likes of Dexter Fowler, Seth Smith, Carlos Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, there was a walk, a single in that first inning. A double play got Charles Nagy's student out of it. Pitching coach for the Diamondbacks. He had a clean second. Got in trouble in the third and the fourth, though.
That looks like a strike.
It's called high. It's ball 4 for Hudson. Base is loaded, 1 out. Hudson coming off a year in which he had 8 wins and an ERA in the 2s. Last year, opponents hit just .202 against Hudson. Right now, though,
this is a turning point in the ball game right here.
Early on, they're all loaded up.
You're already down a run. You got the bags full of Reds, and you got a very dangerous hitter in Jay Bruce. Well, you can find a way to get out of this with just 1 run. Boy, you work some magic.
A double play ended the threat in Colorado. Changeup, 0-1 the count. Bruce homered 25 times last year. Out of Beaumont, Texas. Comes from a hard-working family. Hits that one a mile high where Young will square it up. Votto tags at third. CY comes home with it. It's cut off. The throw is to third. Did that run cross the plate? Yes, it did. The runner is out at third. The run counts at home plate. Brian Runge on top of that. So 2-0 is the score.
Smart play by Russell Brandon. He was not going to be out at the plate. Get that third out and give your guys a chance.
So the Reds, 4 base runners in the inning. 2 cross the plate. Hudson's hot already. Teaching moment for both teams.
Exactly right. Joey Votto on third base. The ball's hit to shallow center field. Going hard all the way. Never assume anything. Now on the end of it, great play by Russell Branyan. And now you get the out at third base. You see the run definitely scores. That's a smart play and by Branyan. But first and foremost, the only reason that Branyan was able to make that play is because Chris Young hit the cutoff man. That's what you do. Good fundamental baseball. Smart play by Branyan. Concede the run, end the inning. Don't give him any more chances. Now grab your bats and hope you can swing it like last night.
Bronson Arroyo on 2-0 drops a slow curveball in there. 34-year-old right-hander born in Florida, began his career in the Pirates organization. As Kelly Johnson, part of that group, as you mentioned, swinging the bats last night, had a 3-run homer yesterday. And Arroyo had a good day, because it's always a good day when you beat the Brewers. He did so.
Well, there's that Brewer reference.
Late on the fastball, down and in. Tell us a little bit more about Bronson Arroyo.
Bronson Arroyo is a guy that just looks like he's out there in a lounge chair. Everything is just effortless with him. Got the unorthodox leg kick, the high leg kick, and then an assortment of arm angles, an assortment of breaking balls and fastballs.
2-2.
Had great success with the Boston Red Sox. Has had great success since coming over to the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, he had a couple of seasons where he was close to 250 innings.
Change up.
And down goes Kelly Johnson. Diving down and away. You talk about slamming on the brakes.
As you can see, down and out of the zone it goes, but Johnson can't hold up. Arroyo missed a lot of spring training with mononucleosis, so he feels like he's not even quite back to 100% yet, and really not even close yet.
Talk about something that saps your strength and energy.
No, thank you. I've been lucky enough to avoid that my whole life. I've known plenty of people that have been there, and it doesn't look like much fun.
Justin Upton waits on deck behind Stephen Drew, as Drew hits a line drive into center field on a fast ball away. Let's take a look down the rest of the order. You see Drew on first, Upton striding towards home plate. Russell Branyan is in the cleanup spot. Chris Young is in center. Miguel Montero catches again. Melvin Moore is at third. Hora in left tonight, taking over for Bloomquist, who was out there last night, and Daniel Hudson. And a pretty approach for Drew, who slapped the ball the other way in his first at bat yesterday for a double. Right away on the move, throw down. Stephen Drew, a stolen base. Again, I say, Stephen Drew, a stolen base.
They're trying to pull the hidden ball trick on him. Kurt Gibson knows right where the ball is. He's pointing out, hey, he's got the ball. That's good to see right there, Stephen Drew.
You bet it's good to see.
First pitch, go ahead, good jump. No chance there for Hannigan. In easily is Stephen Drew, so that ends a possible double play, and he's in scoring position. I love pressing the accelerator when you're down.
Well, that's a pretty good pitch, but the changeup is called inside. 2-0 the count. Most stolen bases in the National League, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and there's always been a question mark by that man's name. Look, he's amongst the league leaders the last 3 years in triples. He plays a very athletic, speed-desiring position at shortstop, but just hasn't been a big base stealer. Upton on a line off the glove of the shortstop, Giannis. Drew had to freeze until it hit the green grass, or at least got by, so he moves up 90 feet. Upton picked on something soft, and he has himself a base hit.
It looked like Giannis may have mistimed his jump just a shade. You can see a breaking ball that Upton gets off the end of the bat. Giannis just a little bit off on his timing. And the Diamondbacks cooking up a brew here in their bottom of the first inning.
Well, you remember we told you about Cincinnati, how they had become a little bit more quiet with runners in scoring position. The opposite certainly is the case now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their first 4 games, they couldn't buy a timely hit. That hasn't been the case the last 2. Here's former Cleveland Indian Russell Branyan, amongst many other hats that are on that trophy case. Runner goes again. The throw down, a stolen base for the Diamondbacks.
Well, I don't know for sure, but I guarantee you Eric Young has picked up something on Bronson Arroyo as far as when he's going to the plate and when he is coming over to first base. That's 2 incredible jumps by Stephen Drew and now Justin Upton. No chance for Ryan Hannigan. Another easy stolen base. And once again, the double play is no longer in order. Oh, this is big league, all these stolen bases.
2 for 5 to start the year for Branyan after a monster spring training. The man in the dugout wants aggressive base running. He demanded it when he was the bench coach. He helped the base runners, but they have been able to, with the hiring of Eric Young, take the concept to the next level. He has always been the base running guru, but he's got himself quite a man now. I mean, you talk about what he accomplishes. That one is on the inside corner.
Well, Russell Branyan's got to find a way to make some contact here. You cannot have a strikeout in this situation. The guys in front of you have done their job. They have gotten base hits and they have stolen bases to set you up. Now you've got to find a way to plate them with some contact. Got one in on his fist, but he fights it off and lives to see another one.
1-2 the count.
Yeah, big old home run would be nice right here, but I'd take a ground ball to the second baseman in a 2-1 ball game.
And if that is the case, that'll be Branyan's first RBI. Just got a piece of it defensively. Let's run through it quickly for the Reds. In the outfield, it's Gomes, Stubbs, and a Gold Glover in right and Bruce. Rolling, 8 Gold Gloves. Phillips a Gold Glover. Joey Votto at first. Ryan Hannigan behind the plate. Fabulous defensive catcher who can hit as well. There's your anchor. Part 2 of the anchor. And of course, Joey Votto, a fine first baseman. This is one of the best infield defenses in the game. Boy, they are staying stubborn up there. That's 3 in a row.
They're trying to stay in right on the knuckles of Russell Branyan. But he's missed up with a couple, and it's just consistent high, hard ones.
35-year-old slugger, very, very well traveled, but has always hit for power and has always battled the swing and miss. Out of Warner Robins, Georgia, Cleveland, Cincinnati, he was a Red. Milwaukee, Tampa, San Diego, Philly, St. Louis, Seattle, and now Arizona. Into the dirt. Quick thought on Russell Branyan. Let's bring in Brad. Brad?
Yeah, I talked to Russell before the game about facing Bronson Arroyo. He's faced him 9 times over the years. He says that Arroyo's always changing, but he's done a pretty good job figuring him out. He's hitting .444 lifetime against the big right-hander.
So he's handled it. 4 of 9. Went soft that last time away.
Base open here.
A changeup into the catcher's mitt. The entire swing and miss, or tip I should say, had an awkward look to it. It doesn't matter. It's a huge out.
That's a painful one right there for the Diamondbacks. He just went with the changeup. Branyan's out in front. He foul tips it, but a nice job by Ryan Hannigan hanging on to it. So now Diamondbacks need something out of Chris Young here with 2 outs.
Well, Chris Young has been white hot last couple of ball games. Had a huge getaway day in Chicago. Last night kept it up. He has 4 of his last 10 with a double, triple, homer, single as well. He's hit for the cycle in his last 2 games. But right now you need something to keep you alive. Miguel Montero, who is hitting .545, waits on deck. But this is when a pitcher like Arroyo backs off even more. He just did it to Branyan. You remember, folks, Levon Hernandez.
Yeah, and he had a base open. He had all his options open, and Arroyo has no fear. He has no fear with pitching with the bases loaded. Okay, if you lay off this, I'll get a double play ball with the next guy.
You see a little bit of Levo in the way as Bronson gets older, he goes about his business.
Absolutely. Greg Maddux was the same way.
Third round pick in 1995 of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Two and one to count.
Chris Young thought that ball was a little up. But Brian Runge said, no, it was just fine. And Gibby's not happy.
You might groan and growl, but he'll be glad to do it right back to you.
Third generation umpire. His father Paul was a longtime major league umpire, and his grandfather Ed.
Deuce is wild. The Reds have a pair of runs, 2 hits. The Diamondbacks have 2 hits. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And he just made a beautiful pitch to run it to 2-2, a soft changeup. Last year, with runners in scoring position, opponents hit .219 against Arroyo. Dropped down, a side arm breaking ball. And bouncing right off the field. Arroyo, what, me worry? 2-0 the score. Check out FoxSportsArizona.com for full coverage of the Diamondbacks this season. And following the Yotes game tonight, we'll have the playoff schedule listed along. Exclusive Coyotes coverage during the playoffs. FoxSportsArizona.com, your home for exclusive coverage of your favorite teams in Arizona. There they are, Gracie.
Playoff bound. I love it. The Desert Dogs.
Well, that's some great music.
That was.
Can we switch our music? Anyone out there? Yeah, I like that.
Now we're talking.
0-1 the count. I think we might need to have that for the rest of the night.
I'm right there with you, partner.
In honor of the Coyotes, to wish them well. In on the hands. That had some of that late jump to it. Hannigan took a hack at it, thought he would square it up, and the young man out of Andover, Mass, nowhere close to doing so.
Yeah, he got the bat knocked out of his hand with that fastball from Hudson.
Explain again. For all the years you had a bat in your hand, explain again, when it's right, what Hudson's fastball does.
Well, it gets about halfway there, and then something kicks it right in the fanny. And the next thing you know, the ball's just boom, it's on you, and it's by you. Tom Seaver had that kind of a fastball. One that looked like it actually rose. That was a slider there, the first one of the evening from Hudson.
So he is not the type of pitcher you would sit down and say, we need for you to work on sinking the ball.
No. Good pitch there. Didn't get the call from Brian Runge. Pedro Martinez had one of those fastballs. Not a very big guy, but about a 3/4 arm angle. The ball just exploded on you.
Paul Janisch on 2-1. Bouncing ball out to short. Steven fields and fires, and in time for the out. Well, a couple of quick outs at the bottom of the order.
And that's just what the doctor ordered for Daniel Hudson. He had a long first inning through a lot of pitches. He could use a quick, snappy 1-2-3 inning here.
Boy, Arizona could have used a run in that top of the or bottom of the first, I should say.
Yeah, they reverted back to that strikeout disease in the bottom of the first. All 3 outs were recorded via strikeout, and Bronson Arroyo made the pitches when he had to.
It was clearly Levon-esque the way he
no panic
made those pitches. Slow breaking balls, change ups, fastballs for show. Pitchers like that, that's what they do.
Got him a slider there, and Bronson Arroyo's got some power. He's hit some home runs in his career. He was looking for a fastball, cheating for it, and looking to hit his 6th career home run there. He's already got 5. Gas.
Miguel Montero. He is really on a roll.
I like that music.
Well over 500. You could put Miggy between the pipes and no one would score. No one would light the lamp with Miggy down there. In goal! Montero indoors with the roof closed at Chase Field to lead it off. Gracie and I glad to have you with us tonight. We trust you've stayed dry and safe on this Saturday and enjoyed some time with family. Change up, high and away. 1-0 the count to Miguel. 12 hits and 22 at bats. Diamondbacks score 6 or more. Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a drink purchase. Ground ball to the right side. How do you get a hot hitter out? Just throw him a fastball down the middle.
Down the middle. Quick story. Rick Sutcliffe did that to Tony Gwynn one time. Tony came to Chicago riding one of his annual 30-game hitting streaks. Sutcliffe tells Joe Girardi, "This guy owns me. I've thrown him my best fastballs, breaking balls, changeups. He kills me. I don't care what you put down, and I don't care where you sit. I'm throwing a batting practice fastball right down the middle every single pitch." 0 for 4.
So funny you would say that. Ken Griffey Jr., I eavesdropped while he did some color. He visited this spring now that his career is over with the Mariners. And he said almost the exact same thing. What pitch did you have the most trouble with?
The fastball down the middle.
He said, honestly, at times, as you get older, you think the game so much that pitchers got away with more fastballs down the middle to me. Got me out with that pitch more often.
Because he's looking for something off speed, or he's looking for something nasty, as that one's shanked foul.
2-1 the count to Melvin Mora.
Well, yeah. Sutcliffe's like, I don't care if you put down a 2. I don't care if you put down a 1. I don't care where you sit. I'm throwing a BP fastball right down the middle. That way, if he gets it, I'm tired of trying so hard and him hitting me. If he's going to get hits, he's going to get them on those pitches. 0 for 4, and that was the end of the hitting streak.
2-2 the count. Melvin Mora, 2 hits and 13 at bats. The longtime Oriole has gone up and over 100 RBIs twice in his career, 20 or more homers 3 times. Just off the plate, the stubborn Arroyo tried to get the corner.
That's a good adjective, stubborn. And it just describes him to a T. He's not going to give in. Oh, goodness gracious. That's just unfair.
Slower than slow, 12-6 curveball. And he'll change speeds and arm angles with this pitch right here.
Just kind of throws a balloon up there, and way out in front of it was Melvin Mora.
4 strikeouts already. Alvarado Parra is 6 of 18 to start the year. He's fortunate he wasn't 3 of 18, or he still might be watching with what Willie Bloomquist has done. Willie watches tonight. Parra gets to start. And if you play any position outside of catcher and pitcher, you will have the tough assignment of sometimes folks questioning why you're getting to play again if Bloomquist gets hot, because he can play anywhere.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you could say, Gracie, you could say, you know, okay, Bloomquist wasn't in left, but why not put him at third tonight? Why not put him at first? You can say anywhere.
Right field, second base, you name it. Other than pitcher and catcher, it's a great weapon to have, a guy like him.
Cut that fastball in. 1-2 the count. There's the man who he replaced for an entire road trip, and all he did was hit well over 300. Willie, by the way, hitting 357 to start the year. An on base of 400.
The stolen bases.
5 stolen bases.
He's been terrific at the leadoff spot.
I'm told we had a great play a moment ago.
With the child, no less.
What?
Hey! Boy, that little girl doesn't understand what a great play Pop's made.
Fouled back to the screen. What do you think?
I think that's worthy of a contract.
Really?
Man, you catch one with the rascal?
Yep, that's a contract. 4 free tickets, 30% off at the team shop. You're coming to the next game. We're taking care of it.
Yeah, well deserved, my friend.
The 2-2. Sidearm breaking ball. It's fouled off.
Never understood why a right-hander would drop down sidearm to a left-handed hitter. I think you're just putting it on a tee for a left-handed hitter.
And he'd probably tell you he does it because you never understood why someone would do it. And you make a great point.
I loved it when a right-hander did that to me.
It's a very scary pitch. Slow curveball. 5 strikeouts already. A lot of missing of baseballs, except for in the seats.
Arizona. Brad Steinke joined by D-backs president and CEO Derek Hall. And, you know, opening night last night, sellout crowd, impressive win. If there were some fans that were coming to see what this team was all about this year, I think they left with a pretty good impression.
Well, that was an important time for us to play well, that's for sure. And it is. There's a lot of people that come out just for opening day for those festivities. We hope to get them back to the ballpark, and we gave them a reason to last night.
A big year for you later in the season, honoring the 10-year anniversary of the World Series championship team. But before that, a lot of work to do, the 2011 All-Star game here. And there were some changes in the yard here.
Yeah, you know, the ballpark looks today as well as it did, if not better, the first day it opened. And we knew we had to do a few things. We've added the LED, high-definition lineup boards now. We redid our party suites, which were outdated, the Legends party suites. We had to redo our roof, repainted it, coated it, put the logo up there, and we added that shade structure outside on the plaza as well.
Yeah, the shade structure is going to be interesting because summertime here in the Valley gets a little hot. There'll be some fans out there hanging out, so thoughtful. I like that.
Yeah, especially during the All-Star game. I mean, Brad, that's going to be the main gate, and everybody's going to be waiting out there. You assume that the heightened security because of the event will cause slower lines, more time outside. So if we can put shade out there under the solar structures and add those big fans as well, it should help.
Value is something I think you take a great deal of pride in, and once again, the D-backs are the best value in all of baseball. That's a formula that is very strict. It's bringing a family of 4, I believe, to a ballpark and getting a lot of great amenities.
Well, it is, and it's very important for us. The biggest part of fan experience to me, you look at security, you look at cleanliness, but also affordability. And we're the most affordable team in baseball. We're proud of that once again. I think it's been about 4 years running. And throughout the ballpark, you'll see the value items. And those value items are such as $1.50 kids' food items, hot dog, corn dog, popcorn, soda, milk. We have the cheapest beer in baseball, $4 14-ounce beer. We're very proud of that. You go in the team shop, you can get a cap for under $10 and a T-shirt for under $10. We're always challenging ourselves to make sure we don't gouge the wallet.
And final question, there's a website they can go to find out all about the value here with the D-backs.
There is, yeah. They can go to dbacks.com/value, and there they're going to see items such as our Pepsi Max value pack. That's $19 for adults. They get a lower level ticket. They get a regular hot dog, 24-ounce soda, and a coupon for a 20-ounce Pepsi Max. It's only $15 for kids, so great pricing.
El Presidente, always good talking to you.
Thank you, Brad. You too.
Guys, back to the booth.
Good stuff. Thank you, Brad. We appreciate that. Couple of quick outs, and Hudson trying to stay settled down after retiring now 6 in a row. as that one sails over the outside. Changeup almost looked like he got on the side of that one a bit.
I think Daniel Hudson got a little help from Brian Runge on that one. It looked like it was quite a bit outside, and Joey Votto's letting him know.
The 1-1. That one is low. Votto last year homered 37 times, drove in 113, and an on-base percentage of .424. In. Doesn't budge. And you talk about power, on-base percentage, putting it all together over the last couple of seasons. Going back to 2007, who were the best offensive players in the game? Most of them play over there at first base. Swing and a miss, 3-2 the count.
You sound surprised.
Not surprised at all. These are the guys that get it done among first basemen. These are the elite. Prince Fielder's had a big hit already tonight. Mark Teixeira, there's Votto right in the middle of it. And then Albert Pujols and his clan coming to town on Monday.
And for those of you who don't know what a good OPS is, well, I'm right there with you.
Oh, sure you do. As we play tonight, 739 is about league average. That's league average. As a matter of fact, what's a good OPS? What's an average OPS? Batting average 255, on base 324. An average OPS is 723, so Pujols 300 points above that.
Oh, dear.
Very interesting, Gracie, because that call there juxtaposition to the changeup early on. Remember that one that Votto didn't like, that he campaigned about?
I do.
Makeup call?
I doubt it. I guess I don't know. I don't know. He just looked like he saw it. Looked like it was one of those probably could have gone either way.
Does that happen though?
Oh yeah, I think so. Especially when you're dealing with an MVP. When you're dealing with an MVP, you're probably not going to get the extended strike zone. If that was Paul Janisch, that might have been strike 3. And that's just the way it is in all sports. Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, they get more calls than the other guys.
Want to know the count to Scott Rowland. Rowland at 482 career doubles, so he'll get to that 500 mark. He's got 8 Gold Gloves in his career. Won one last year. There's that fastball.
That one had some good life to it, and he beat Scott Rowland with that one.
Again, if you're the hitter in the batter's box, you see a pitch that you think you're about to square up. 24-year-old right-hander. Traded last year to the Diamondbacks from the White Sox organization for Edwin Jackson. Was a 5th-round pick a couple of years back out of Old Dominion. Jackson had a big night a couple of nights ago with 13 strikeouts. He had a gifted on.
He sure did. And still does.
The 2-1. 2-2 the count. Jackson last year, the man who was sent to Chicago through one of the more unique no-hitters in the history of the game that you'll ever discuss.
What was it, 8 walks?
8 walks, 150-plus pitches.
And good for Edwin. We wish him well. Good guy.
I'll never forget, I've shared this with other people. You came back into town and we sat with former Diamondbacks manager A.J. Hinch, who knew things were going tough around him. He was wise enough to see that, and at least was able to sit back and for 1 second smell the roses in the fact that he let a pitcher on a pitch count, in a sense, stay out there and pitch through that.
And that was the best decision he could have made.
Changeup.
Nice changeup.
7 in a row sat down. Back of the ball yard, Cincinnati on top of Arizona by a score of 2-0. Our text poll, make sure to grab your cell phone and text to 36929. Who has impressed you the most out of the gate for the Diamondbacks? Willie, Ian, Miguel, or J.J. Putz? 1, 2, 3, or 4. As Daniel Hudson takes a pitch over the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Yeah, it's really a two-man race. Slow curveball off the end of the bat. And Daniel Hudson, who is now 5 for 30 in his career, will head back to the dugout. I mean, I think you've got to vote for Willie Bloomquist.
That's your vote?
Yep. He gets my vote.
I would imagine he's going to get quite a few votes.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Had a backdoor slow curveball. How about you, Miguel? Straight Miguel?
No, I'm going to stay with you and Willie, only because it's more of the unknown. We haven't had the opportunity to watch Willie play day in and day out, and he's not playing tonight. So you have to be awfully impressed with what he has done before tonight. I didn't realize he was such a good base stealer.
He is.
I didn't realize he could play such a solid shortstop. We've seen Miggy have his hot streaks, and we know what he can do behind the plate. So there's more of a known factor there.
Right back through the box and into center field. It's a base hit for Kelly Johnson. Try to pull that ball. So Kelly is 1 of 2 in this ball game after having 1 hit in 4 at-bats last night. A 3-run homer. And now Stephen Drew.
Just off the end of the bat, and he just swats it back up the box. You got a big hole up the middle, and he just hits it perfectly between the 2 middle infielders, and he's a base runner. Give Stephen Drew an opportunity.
Kelly Johnson last year had 13 stolen bases. The Diamondbacks already have 2 stolen bases in this game. Stephen has 1 of them. Off speed misses. 1-0 the count. With Bloomquist watching tonight, Johnson got the start at the top of the order. In some conversations this spring, as Kelly is sent back, he shared that he likes hitting second. That's probably his favorite spot, but in a bout of honesty, he realized that he may be, on certain nights, more beneficial to the team to lead off because he has one of the higher on bases of anyone down there. 1-1. A little bit extra on the corner there.
Sure looked like it, didn't it?
1-1. Arizona in their Saturday night black jerseys tonight.
I love them.
Just tempting you to swing over and over again.
He feeds on a hitter's aggressiveness. The bigger the at-bat, the slower he's going to throw the baseball.
Staying away to Drew on 3 consecutive pitches. He stays out there. Steven goes the other way. Closing the distance very easily, Johnny Gomes. So a couple of outs. Don't forget, every time a Diamondback hits a homer this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Two years ago, Justin Upton was an all-star. In 2006, Bronson Arroyo played in the Midsummer Classic. That was Bronson's best year in the big leagues, far and away. He won 14 games, had an ERA of 3.3, and threw 240 innings. Upton dips that back knee right underneath a slow curveball, and that's an easy chance for Gomes. Just dares you to swing at it. You think you've got him. Because you're back in big league games, but it's just not the same as being back at home. So though we love Denver and we love Chicago, we love our fans, and we're glad that you've invited us back into your home as you visit the ballpark. Name the 3 other Reds besides Joey Votto to win a Most Valuable Player award since 1975. 3 Reds other than Joey Votto to win an MVP since 1975. 1-0 the count to Johnny Gomes. Fastball jumps right out of the strike zone, so it's an easy fly ball out to left. Gerardo Parra puts it away.
Oh, man. You know who that is, Darren Sutton?
Is that Doc down there?
That is Sid Rosenblatt, a.k.a. Doc. He is one of our Gold Glovers tonight. He's down the right field line. Doc is one of our fantasy campers. He's been there since the very beginning.
Big swing, high fly. Into left field. That one is put away.
Yeah, Sid Rosenblatt, been one of our original fantasy campers. He's one of our favorites down there. And he looks like he needs a nap. But we love Doc, and good for him being a Gold Glover tonight.
He is assisted on the left field line by Gregor Carr down the left field line.
There's Gregor.
Now what's going on with Doc down there? Is about 32 on the field.
Well, he must think he's in Chicago.
Well, we're going to have to bury him now.
Well, I will find him in Kangaroo Court next year. Oh, he gets it. Oh, he gets it in Kangaroo Court too.
He has about. Is there 4 layers on there?
Yeah. He's one of my leaders. So anytime someone else fails in Kangaroo Court and lets down the squad, I find him because he has failed them.
What do you mean your leaders? You manage?
Well, sure. I'm one of the managers.
I heard you won a.
Mike Fetters is my coach.
I heard you won a championship this past year.
Gonzo's a manager down there.
Don't avoid the question.
Matt Williams is a manager down there.
Did you win a title this year?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
The 1-1. So I haven't been in the last couple of years. Basketball has kept me away.
Yeah, you're busy doing Division III games back in the Midwest.
No, that'd be the Horizon League, the team that the last 2 years has sent a team out of a mid-major conference to the national championship game. Anyway, the teams that I remember you having, as that one goes back to the screen, couldn't buy a win.
Oh, we were terrible.
What did you do?
Well, you're no longer on the squad.
Well, that's a good point. Well, I walked right down that path, didn't I?
No, but I tease. No, we had a great time this year, and my squad ended up hoisting the trophy at the end of the which is a large turnaround from a couple of years ago, as that one's fouled off the foot of Ryan Hannigan.
Flied to right back in the second
So
inning.
what I'm trying to say is, all you men, and we have a couple of female campers as well down there. You're all welcome. We have a great time down there in February, and I say down there, it was in Tucson. I believe it's going to be at
Salt
River Fields now.
The 1-2.
Gas.
That's strike 3 right at the belt over the outside corner.
Come on out to fantasy camp, folks, and meet Doc. He's big league.
Well, since it's moved up here to this side of town, we can all stay at your house.
You know, when you have veteran guys, the guys that have been around, seen a lot of things, they're more calm. You know, they don't get quite as emotional, that sort of thing. So I think these young guys, they see that. It helps them calm their nerves a little bit. It helps them understand, you know, hey, you know, you lose 3 or 4 in a row. Hey, it's not the end of the world. You know, you got to pick yourself back up, go back out there and give it your all.
35-year-old Russell Branyan, who is now one of those veterans, wished he could have had another swing in that at bat back in the first inning with a strikeout, stranding a couple of runners. But that Georgia peaceful approach that he brings to the locker room has been a nice addition in there. Slow curveball. Russell drives it to right. It's off the wall. Hustling on around. Bruce with a lollipop high throw on in. Branyan with a scalded top spin double to right field. Boy, did it ever have that sound off the bat.
It did. It was a slow breaking ball. You know, Russell just stayed back on it, and as you said, it made that sound. And it just top spun. And a leadoff double. Diamondbacks looking to make some noise.
Tell me that didn't look like slow pitch softball right there. With the ball coming in, the slow curveball.
Russell's got a little slow pitch
That's
softball
what I
in
mean.
him as well. Exactly. That did.
Russell unloading
I bet you he's a lot better than Eric Burns
at softball.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately for Branyan, he won't have to worry about it this year.
He's still a major leaguer.
Here's Chris Young. Pops that one up right side. That in and out of the zone very quickly. And that's a souvenir. And you think about Branyan. over his last 3 seasons, at times in anonymity, as he's gotten older, slugged better, more successfully. His slugging percentage is over .510 the last 3 years. He's got 68 homers as a part-time player. That's 68. So as he's got a little older, he's cut down on the strikeouts a little.
Cut him down. Still homering.
Oh, he's still homering and slugging.
Oh boy, he got a hanging breaking ball there and he missed it. That's the unfortunate, unproductive out.
So Russell stays put. Let's update our text poll. Who has impressed you most out of the gates?
Well,
Bloomquist.
What's been so wrong with J.J. Putz?
Well, for a club that struggled mightily with its bullpen last year,
he's been great.
I was telling you folks that was my choice, and I'm not quite sure why you didn't vote for him. Singing his praises an inning ago.
Talking about Willie Bloomquist, right?
No, J.J. Putz is who I was.
You know, I heard you. You're right. I forgot about that.
Miguel Montero into center field. Sherlock, stop sign. A late stop sign as he stops Branyan, and it's a good thing.
I think Russell looked like he was expecting to be held up.
Runners on first and third with 1 out. Miggy with yet another hit.
Ho, ho, ho. All right, Diamondbacks got another opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's see if Melvin Mora can get the job done.
0 for 4 with a sac fly and an RBI thus far in this series. He has not liked Reds pitching in his career. Below 100 is his batting average. Waited back a long time, still couldn't do anything with that breaking ball. 0-1 the count to Melvin. Popped up. This will not get it done. Over, under, and out. Snatching it right out of the sky with the play there, Brandon Phillips. So, sandwiched within a double and a single, a couple of unproductive outs. And here's Gerardo Parra with the pitcher on deck. Parra struck out back in the second inning. Boy, does Baker have some different styles of pitching in that starting rotation. 1-0 the count.
I would be very surprised if Gerardo Parra got anything good to hit here in this situation. You've got the pitcher on deck. You've got a guy with good control. Just maybe try to tease him out of the strike zone, but that's just dangerous. Very dangerous to do. And he got him to swing out of the strike zone.
1-1 the count.
He's got a young hitter with a couple of ducks on the pond, if you will. I would imagine he's going to try just what he did there. Try to get him to chase just out of the strike zone. Like that.
1-2 the count. Fastball up and in. Hacked at it. Change up down and away. Took a whack at it.
And then now he's thrown 3 pitches out of the strike zone. And he sits with a 1-2 count. That's what the old masters do, Darren. Because they know how to do it.
1-2. Fastball popped up. And it's also, for me anyway, watching pitchers like this pitch, it's not only knowing how to do it, but having the guts to do it. Our Southwest Airlines pitch count. To throw pitches consistently that you know are out of the zone, that could put you in a hole. Sidearm. Fastball, 2-2 the count. Since coming to the big leagues, Parra, a .328 hitter with runners on base.
Foul.
Is Doc all right down there?
Well, Doc did a terrible job of protecting the fans down there. Come on, Doc. Looked like he was running from the ball.
What's he now?
Well, let's take a look. Doc, got to make that play. Hey!
2-2 the count. Change up, really dipped his arm underneath that one, so full count. Runner from first will take off. Runner goes 3-2, broke his bat, roll it to the right side. Votto, who had left first, gets back there. And for the second time this evening, a couple of runners out there on the pond that just sink right into the water. Joey Votto, he and his Reds lead it by a score of 2-0. As we welcome you back to Chase Field, the three other Reds besides Joey Votto to win an MVP since going back to the Big Red Machine, of course, Morgan, Foster, and many might forget Barry Larkin in 1995, the most valuable player. The man who now mans shortstop, Paul Janisch, will lead it off, as Hudson has certainly settled in since that first inning. Change up, 0-1. Gave up a couple of runs in the first, 4 base runners, and through 23 pitches since, no runs, 1 base runner, and just 35 pitches to follow in the next 3 innings. Change up is outside. Little topper. 3 soft ones in a row.
He's throwing some very good changeups now.
Struck out Hannigan looking, struck out Rowland swinging. got Arroyo swinging and Stubbs swinging. 4 strikeouts. This is a line drive into right center field. Got those hands in. It was a pitch that was running in, and a good piece of hitting. Inside out single, Giannis.
That looked like Hudson tried to pump a fastball by him, but unfortunately for Hudson, he just put it right down the middle.
Quest high speed pitch. Brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet. And here is Bronson Arroyo. Way in at third base is Melvin Mora as he squares.
No, it's not Wednesday.
Oh, the way in, you're saying?
Yeah. No, it's.
Well, no, he's just way in with a W-A-Y.
Oh. Okay. Thought we were having the folks
log on to FoxSportsArizona.com and weigh in. But I think we should. It's only the right thing to do. What would you like him to talk about tonight?
Well, let's see. Let's maybe Willie Bloomquist.
Good idea.
How good he's played.
Oh, 0-1. Mora still way in, but it's a slash as he hacks at it. 0-2 the count.
And really, you want the opposing pitcher to do that.
Why?
Well, because usually the opposing pitcher is going to be a poor hitter. Because if he drops a bunt down, well, Giannis is going to get to second base. Now, if he swings, a guy with very good stuff in Hudson and a guy that's a below average hitter, your chances of not getting the sacrifice increases.
Pops up the bunt. And no play there. That was interesting. Kelly Johnson went to cover the bag. The entire time he was telling Hudson, don't throw it to me. I know I'm supposed to go over and cover, but you have no play. They've done a lot of the little things defensively right tonight. Watch Kelly here. I don't want it.
Nope. Just take a bite out of it and keep that double play in order.
You talked in the first inning about ending things with Young hitting the cutoff man in Branyan, who quickly turned and flipped it to Mora. Having a baseball sense. Over the last few years, we might not have seen that as consistently. Just a baseball acumen and understanding of the field around you.
Instincts.
Change up. Gets a big swing and a miss. 0-1 the count.
Stubbs was trying to hit that one into Friday's front row. And he can.
He has struck out. Did so in the first. Grounded out in the third inning. Started the season with a 5-game hitting streak before an 0 for a couple of days back. And the count is 1-1. Since last August the 1st, Daniel Hudson's ERA 1.89. And in that time, only Roy Oswalt's been better. His ERA in that span 1.52. He's given up 2 here tonight, but Bronson Arroyo's been better. Change of pace, 1-2 the count.
Well, that one really dove down out of the zone. Beautiful change up there from Hudson.
The Reds have just 3 hits as he works here in the 5th inning. The 1-2. Change up, swung right over the top of that one. A big strikeout again. That's 5 Ks.
Those are 3 of the best changeups he's thrown tonight. There you see the grip of it. Watch just how far in front of that pitch Drew Stubbs is. Beautiful.
We've seen that was a great shot of his grip. How Ian Kennedy spreads those middle fingers even more, the middle finger and the ring finger. Hudson's similar in a way, and he has tweaked it since pitching with Kennedy, but not quite as big of a split on those fingers. But the outside finger, the index finger, and the pinky wrap around the side of that baseball. What an interesting look at how he throws that changeup. And Ian, you can see his changeup, a little bit of
Very
a wider,
similar, isn't it?
Wider spread, but you're right, very similar.
There zips the fastball right on the inside corner.
I don't think for a minute, different parts of the country, different experiences growing up, that they don't have a ton in common. Those two talk a lot of pitching together.
Big rip from Brandon Phillips. Goodness.
Singleton scored in the first inning, line to right field out of Stone Mountain High School in Georgia.
They call him the Mountain from Stone Mountain.
Do they now?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the better nicknames.
Very
long nickname. Good one, though.
He loves it.
Wags that bat around. Well, I just saw a flash of a hitter there. I saw another hitter in days gone by with that stance right there.
And who was that?
Tony Phillips.
Yeah.
Wagging that
call.
bat around.
Good call.
Crouch at the plate.
Tony Phillips, one of the real good guys.
Intense.
Oh.
You see it?
Mm-hmm, I do.
We've seen him.
Tony would battle you, boy. You were going to get every ounce of his heart and soul every at-bat.
Phillips maybe with a little bit more all-around ability, certainly, but Phillips both bearing the same last name, the elder and the veteran, played anywhere on the field. That one is high and away. Throw down on a hop. That was easy enough. Miguel Montero used that well-managed turf. You can play right here at Chase Field. Go to the interactive kiosk near section 111 during Diamondbacks regular season home games. Tonight's Kachinko winner won a chance to throw out the first pitch, actually won the opportunity. They will throw out the first pitch later on this season, and I'm telling you what, if there is anything better than Kachinko, you're going to have to find me and let me know what it is. First pitch to Hudson is a breaking ball, a hanger, slapped into left field. 69 miles an hour. It was harder when it sailed into left.
That had a little bit of that slow pitch softball look as well, didn't it? Here comes a big old balloon, and Hudson does a great job of waiting back on it. I mean, he rips that ball into left field. That is a nice hunk of hitting there by the pitcher. Oh, boy, Daniel. I'm sure he's telling all his teammates, come on, man. Just wait back on that breaking ball like that and whack it.
If he hangs it at the belt, then you too could do the same.
Uh-oh.
Funky spin. Uh-oh is right. There's one. Hard slide by the pitcher, Hudson. And safe at first is Kelly Johnson.
Well, for one of the very few times the Cincinnati Reds make a boo-boo defensively. It won't go down as an error, but really, Paul Janisch took way too long to get rid of this ball to the second baseman. He gets it and then whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, and now Hudson bearing down on Phillips. Forces a low throw, and Votto can't come up with it. That's just good hard baseball by the pitcher. Good for Daniel Hudson. The W goes by the name, and the L goes by his name. He's trying to win his own ball game. I like that.
Went in sliding hard, and Brandon Phillips, you stick by your mate, you stick by your double play partner, but his good buddy that time left him hanging. With no intention at all, obviously. One of the most sure-handed infields in the game. That being said, another chance on the move. Kelly Johnson throw down. Safe.
Oh, my goodness.
Stolen base, Kelly Johnson. 3 stolen bases tonight.
Well, Dusty Baker's going to come out and have a conversation with Tim McClellan. Tim McClellan's having a loud conversation with Brandon Phillips. I think the Diamondbacks are getting a break here. Oh, my goodness gracious.
McClellan was saying he tagged him on the shoulder. That part I think he's right about, but I think he wasn't to the bag yet.
Yeah, he still wasn't to the bag. Diamondbacks get a huge break, and Dusty's got a very good argument.
2 veterans of the game here, exchanging wits back and forth. So that's more of the angle that McClellan had. Got to cash in. You get a break, you have to cash in.
3rd stolen base of the night for the Diamondbacks. That one very fortunate.
11 stolen bases on the season for Arizona, number 1 in the National League. They came in tied with the Reds at 8 apiece. Drew takes inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Reds have stranded a pair of base runners. So far, Bronson Arroyo has iced 5 Diamondbacks base runners. They have left 5 on. Popped up.
With the D-backs Pepsi Max Value Pack, you get a lower level ticket, a hot dog, soda, and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max, all for just $19, Darren. Available every single game, every day. Call 602-462-4787 or visit dbacks.com/value.
Well, that's a great read. You even personalized it, and I appreciate that.
Well, I might say somebody else's name tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I like to feel like I'm the most important person in this whole telecast.
Well, you are.
Just ask me. Here's Justin Upton. It's so much fun, although it's frustrating for the hitters. We saw Livan Hernandez for several years. Watching a pitcher work, and his change of pace pitch is his fastball. That's the one he changes speeds.
That's exactly right.
And hitters surprised with belt high down the middle at 86. You dive, you jam yourself. And I mean it with all due respect to the gentleman standing in the box. Certainly meant as a compliment to the veteran right-hander. We mentioned he began his career as a Pirate. One of those I'm ready to play draft picks out of high school. He's the Pirates' third-round pick in 1995 on June the 1st. He signed his contract the same day as a third-round pick.
He was ready.
Which meant you get a few bucks in the third round.
Good pitch there.
1-2. He was a waiver claim after being let go by the Pirates of the Boston Red Sox. Oh, what a claim that turned out to be.
Wonder what the Pirates didn't see in him.
One and two the count. We'll do it one more time. He's won 10 or more games 6 times. Made 30 or more starts 6 times, and also gone over that 200 inning mark a half dozen times. Last year he won a Gold Glove.
Yeah, now that Greg Maddux is retired, Gold Gloves are available again. Oh dear.
Right back to the Gold Glover. Broke the bat of Justin Upton, and another runner stranded in scoring position. Well, those bats all night have been dying unhappy deaths. This Saturday evening, our game summary. The Reds with just enough offense. The other way, Scott Rowland a single and an RBI. A sac fly. It ends up being an out to end the inning, but that run just crossed the plate in time. Then on the flip side, boy, make you want to slam your helmet, kick the bench, say words that mom told you not to say. His name is Bronson Arroyo.
He has frustrated every Diamondback at least once or twice tonight. Daniel Hudson, after a hiccup in the first inning, giving up 2 runs, has just been dominant. But once again, he's been the recipient of relatively nothing offensively.
Little change up, stays up, but it's a strike over the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Now they have 4 more shots at him, the Cincinnati Reds, in their bullpen. Remember, there is a young left-hander down there that throws about 104 who may come into the ball game, or old as Chapman. The Reds in their talented bullpen, not a story at all last night because the Diamondbacks struck early and often. But it's a good bullpen.
It's a really good bullpen.
And Coco Cordero, the veteran, has somewhat reinvented himself, come in great shape. Has added more to his arsenal. Chopper, great play. Hudson up the ladder, hauls it in. He's a big fellow already, stands about 6'5", but was ready for that one.
Well, he's also a very good athlete. We saw him swing the bat for a base hit in the bottom half of the last inning. Then he goes up and makes a nice play there to retire a dangerous hitter in Brandon Phillips. Right through the heart of the order here. Big inning for Daniel Hudson. Got to find a way to get his boys back in the dugout and just hope upon hope that they can find a way to solve Bronson Arroyo and or that Reds bullpen. Yeah, they're definitely trying to stay inside on Joey Votto, and that's kind of what you have to do. Just have to crowd him, show him that you're not just going to let him get extended all day.
2-1 the count to Votto. Pitchers at times will invent pitches or go to their third best pitch. And that's what happened there. Hudson with the slider away.
Same slider.
Boy, what an awkward swing that was.
We saw that from Brandon Phillips in the previous at bat. Got him to chase that slider. Boy, if he can find a way to get swings like that with his slider. Oh.
6 out of every 10 pitches have been that fastball. There's one. It's in. One of the game's most dangerous piece of lumber's in those hands.
Time for a changeup?
I would think so. On 3-2. Hard ground ball there to gobble it up is Brandon. It was a changeup in. So Votto is erased. Here's Scott Rowland. Don't forget this Earth Day, Phoenix Children's Hospital hosting the 3rd annual Keep Our Planet Neat. Recycle your car seat. Hit up at Tempe Marketplace between 8 a.m. and noon on Friday, April 22nd. Swing and a miss. Good slider there. Well, there's nothing wrong with that one.
Kind of liking what I'm seeing from the slider in this inning, my friend.
Spins off that fastball. It's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rowland singled in that run we showed you a moment ago back in the 1st inning and has struck out. One and 2. Rookie of the year. You folks remember that Scott Rowland was the Rookie of the Year in '97 with the Phillies. 21 home runs that year. Bouncing ball somehow put that high fastball on the ground. Either way, it's good news. Hudson has been absolutely dominating the Cincinnati Reds since the 1st. Boys, you better get him some runs. By Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates. Also by the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. Beautiful red rocks of Sedona. As we welcome you back here, Cincinnati on top by a score of 2-0. In our great state, let's see if the Bowl team can get going. Offensively anyway, and better said, get going when it matters most. They have had plenty of base runners. They've stranded 6 already. They go to work here in the bottom of the 6th inning against Bronson Arroyo.
Just haven't found a way to get them across the dish. Getting them on and getting them over. Unfortunately, in this instance, 2 out of 3 is bad.
Bronson started very slowly in a championship season for the Reds last year, but has been on a roll ever since. Russell Branyan drives it deep right field into the corner. It goes, but it's foul. There's that dangerous sweeping breaking ball you talked about to a left-handed hitter.
Russell just doesn't stay back long enough. Hits it plenty far, but just a few feet foul.
One and two the count. First 13 starts last year, Arroyo's ERA was almost 5. In his final 20, his ERA was nearly an even 3. Chasing. That one sailed out of the zone, so Branyan has doubled, but in the middle of that, there have been 2 strikeouts as well.
Hannigan wants it up and in, but instead it goes up and away. Russell just swings right through it.
Just a mid-80s fastball where he missed his spot. Here's Chris Young. 6 strikeouts for the right-hander. 1-0. Popped up, coming back this way. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Young right at a 200 career hitter against the Reds. 15 hits. 5 of those have been homers. Yeah, he went around there. 1-2 the count. In on the knuckles, lifted into left field, and it's in there. Well, he was working with his catcher Hannigan. Hannigan said, let's go up and in. He hit his spot. He didn't miss his spot.
Well, he got the result he wanted, and that is a little bat handle. Ball right off the hands. And Johnny Gomes is a very good offensive player, but he doesn't run very well out in left field, and that ball falls in front of him. And once again, the Diamondbacks bring the tying run to the plate. Doesn't take much to bring the tying run to the plate with Daniel Hudson on the mound.
He's only given up those 3 hits, 1 since the first inning. We talked about Miguel Montero coming on the air. He's 1 of 2 in this game. He has opened the season playing in every game and hitting .542. Speaking of softball numbers. That one is thrown away.
He could get the 3rd.
Hustling all the way around. It is a 2-base throwing error. The pitcher threw that one wild. Looked like it got off the glove of the first baseman, Votto. We'll see it again.
And that's what the 3 stolen bases prior to this will do for you. He knows you're going to run. And what that does is forces a mistake. The speed forces the opponent to do something. And when you put the pressure on the opposing defense, eventually it's going to crack. That's exactly what happened. Now the Diamondbacks can get a run closer with just an out.
A hanging bender underneath that one. 1-0 the count. That is just the second error this season committed by the Cincinnati Reds.
Just the pressure of the running game.
And it's committed by a pitcher. A high pop up back of short. Young has to stay put.
Well, right now what you're witnessing is a Houdini act. And the Diamondbacks just trying a little too hard in the bigger situations. We saw it earlier in Chicago. The bigger the at bat, the poorer the at bat. And so far that's what we've seen tonight in these situations.
Of the 6 base runners stranded by the Diamondbacks tonight, 4 of those 6 have been in scoring position. Outside to the veteran Melvin Mora. Struck out. Popped out to the second baseman. .39 years old. Agua Negra in Venezuela.
Good pitch right to the outside corner.
I don't know that you could have walked the baseball up and sat it there any more cleanly as far as where he wanted to throw the ball.
No argument there.
Mora last year in Colorado hit .285, homered 7 times, and drove in 45.
Oh boy, he got one right down Broadway. Did nothing with it. That was unfortunately the pitch that could have tied up the ball game right there, but Melvin might have been looking off speed. We don't know, but whoo.
Did he? 2-2 the count. Again, just a little bit in, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit out. Looks really good. 2-2 the count, 2-0 the score.
Oh, he got another one in the middle of the plate. Wanted it away. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That's a couple in this at bat. Let's see if Melvin can make him pay. Didn't
3-2.
Didn't chase the high one again.
All right.
You're ready for something, huh?
They're all ready for something. Bless you, boys. You have been facing a crafty one tonight. Runner at third, the 3-2, lined into center. There's an RBI. Just a giant exhale as the crowd comes out of their seats. It's a 2-1 ball game. Tip of the cap there to Mora. He hung around and didn't chase a few key pitches that would have ended his at bat. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. You get cool play of the game when you just drive in a run.
Just a breaking ball that stays out over the plate. Moore does a great job of sitting back and didn't try to do too much with it. Just ripped it right back up the box. And the Diamondbacks are a run closer. Boy, that's huge right there. There might be, as you said, a big old exhale out of that third base dugout. Might get them something going here. And credit Melvin Moore. He didn't get frustrated. He missed, foul back a couple of pitches that were right there to hit. He stayed right on that 3-2 breaking ball and did a great job with it.
Changeup sails away. That was actually a fastball that just stayed away. 1-0 the count. Arroyo last year surrendered 29 home runs. Hudson waits on deck. Topper out front of that changeup. Phillips fielding, flipping, a gorgeous play by the Gold Glove second baseman. But the Diamondbacks find their way onto the scoreboard. Finally.
Season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every D-backs game on demand or on your computer, Gregson Frampton. Visit dbacks.com for details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Our fine pregame show, postgame show producer, and the lesson has been learned here in the booth that if you're within the line of sight of the fine copy reader Mark Grace, you may get an on-air mention.
We're going personal today.
Very personal. Johnny Gomes, who doesn't take it personal when you tell him that as a left fielder he's a great hitter, as he takes strike one. Slider, a good one. 0-1 the count.
A nice little weapon late in the ball game for Daniel Hudson. There's another one, another strike.
Well, where would the Reds have been last year with some others starting slowly without Johnny Gomes? Good pitch, sails up and in on 0-2. His first 40 or so games, he hit .304, slugged .527, drove in 34 runs in 40 games.
Right back up there, and he's not chasing. Which means I think it's time for that changeup. What do you think?
Well, he hasn't seen it in this at bat. Sliders and fastballs. Fastball inside corner. I think he was thinking exactly like you were.
Now, once again, Daniel Hudson's becoming a lot of fun to watch. I love trying to guess with him because I'm not right very much. Perfect inside fastball. Johnny Gomes knew it.
Brian Ruggie got into that one.
Now, he rung that one up pretty emphatically, didn't he?
You love it as a pitcher.
I do.
I know as a hitter,
you hated it as a hitter.
The 1-0. That one is chopped and it is foul. A changeup. The Home Depot. Time for it. Doing more on defense. Brought to you by our good friends with the Home Depot. Hit your cutoff man, you youngsters. And that's why. Hot shot, foul ball. Well, there's a good.
Get it, Doc.
Oh.
Oh, Doc.
About to say that could be our Home Depot doing more on defense, but it's just instead of.
No, he hadn't made a play yet. You're supposed to use your glove there, Doc. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Inside corner, strike 3. Comebacker on the fastball there. Wow, 2 strikeouts looking.
As you said, the comebacker comes right back to the inside corner. Bang. Brian Runge ringing it up again. Oh, you love that.
I'm getting fired up here.
My partners have a litter of kittens up here, folks, with those big, emphatic strike 3 calls.
I'm all in with you, Brian.
He's a good man, Brian Runge. Knew his father very well. Did a great job.
We've run into him down in the tunnel on occasion. 2 hits in the first inning allowed by Daniel. 1 in the 4th after that to Giannis. That's it. That's the rest of the hits in the ball game. Bouncing ball, it's a foul ball.
I'll tell you what. He's 1 strike away from opening up a hotel.
I'll tell you what, if you've never joined us and a Diamondbacks pitcher strikes out the side, we go straight border tourism. We build ourselves a beautiful 3-story hotel. The 0-2. Awkward swing on a changeup.
That one scattered the boys in the first base dugout.
But should Hannigan end up on first base somehow, you'll remember that protect job he just did. Personally, I'd like to invite him to the hotel. Oh, and he is more than welcome. Daniel Hudson, what an architect, and he likes to have a hands-on approach as a doorman as well. Good morning, Mr. Gomes. Enjoy your day. Mr. Bruce, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, Mr. Hannigan. We'll send a whole
here at the Diamond Club. Jody Jackson and Joe Borowski getting set for Quest Diamondbacks Live. Now, we just saw Daniel Hudson strike out the side, but Joe, when we were watching that first inning and the damage that was done, you were taking some notes. What was that all about?
We were both a little surprised at how he struggled in the first inning, so I made a quick note of this. Sometimes do what I think he could do to help get his ship righted. I'll explain what he did and how it may have helped him get right back in this game.
And we look forward to hearing that in the postgame show. It certainly has made a big difference for Hudson the rest of the way, guys.
Look forward to hearing that, and you hope that when it is all said and done and the discussion goes on in the postgame show, they're talking about a Diamondbacks victory. Hudson, fabulous tonight. 1 hit after the first inning. 1. 7 or more innings, 2 earned runs or less, 9 times in his 13 Diamondback starts. That is up here what we deem a quality start. 7 or more innings, 3 runs or less, obviously. He's gone 2 runs or less in 9 of the 13. Here is Ryan Roberts. Bill Bray is the left-hander. On the flip side, we don't want to lose track of the work that Bronson Arroyo did as well. There's a lot of praise handed out to Daniel Hudson. It's Bronson Arroyo that's in line to be the winning pitcher. Belted, foul. Into the dirt, a changeup from Bray. David Hernandez, acquired from the Orioles, along with Cam Michelio from the Baltimore organization for Mark Reynolds.
See where Mark Reynolds hit a home run today, his first one for the Baltimore Orioles.
Good for him.
We always wish him well.
You bet we do.
He was one of our favorite young men.
1-2 the count. Just hanging around. Bray fastball, curveball, changeup. Usually a guy that is almost exclusively a left-handed specialist. And of course with Roberts, chance to knock around a lefty. Kelly handles lefties very well. He waits on deck. Bouncing ball out to short. Not an easy play. And he made it very effectively out there. Giannis. Well, if you missed the Pat Tillman Legacy Show on Friday, there'll be an encore presentation Tuesday at 5:30. This inspirational show describes what Tillman's legacy has brought to everyone. Plus, check out FoxSportsArizona.com for bonus clips of the show. Here's Kelly Johnson. One to 0 the count. Two years ago, Kelly hit just .224 in 100-plus games with the Braves. The bounce-back season he had last year, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Bray just reared back and threw a fastball right by him.
Career Kelly, .295 against southpaws, .266 against righties. Higher on base, higher slugging percentage as well.
Perfect outside corner fastball. Very impressive. Like J.J. Putz. Very impressive.
I would agree. That pitch is low. And there is the Diamondbacks closer.
He's another guy. Until you stand next to him, you don't realize just how doggone big he is.
Glenn Sherlock in, coaching third base. It's bullpen coach, all hands on deck. Tonight, J.J. Putz helping the relievers get ready. As that one is in the dirt. And you may ask quickly, well, what exactly goes on? Just, he's got that lineup card somewhere near me. Lets him know. Glenn Sherlock in coaching for Matt Williams, who has a broken foot. Matty will be back hopefully very soon. Just nearby, keeping an eye on any moves that Baker might be making. The pitcher can focus on warming up. Got him with a fastball. So Johnson heads back. Meantime, Andrusic warms, and Aroldis Chapman as well. Aroldis Chapman has already hit 104 miles an hour this year.
Oh, that's frightening.
That pitch is up and away. Chapman, of course, last year on the radar gun threw an average fastball of 99.6 miles an hour.
My goodness. He doesn't even need to warm up. He just needs to stand there.
2-0 the count to Stephen Drew, and thus far that's what he's doing.
I'm ready.
I could roll out of bed on Christmas morning and stretch and throw 94. The 2-0. Outside. I knew exactly where he wanted to throw it to Kelly Johnson and did, and yet it's 3-0 to Stephen Drew.
I think sometimes pitchers just get out there and they just have a quick little loss of concentration, and next thing you know, you're 3-0 with Justin Upton on deck.
Pitch yourself right out of the ball game. There, he's right back in there. 3-1 the count. Gray, born in Virginia Beach, Virginia, went to college at William and Mary. Was originally an Expos #1 pick. Steven has to count, run to 3-2.
As that one's fouled away, let me tell you about the Racing Gracie from the D-backs Legends race. Will be the first bobblehead giveaway this season. Pick up your Racing Gracie bobblehead courtesy of Hinkle on Thursday, April 28th, before the D-backs Cubs game. Wow. For tickets, call 602-462-4790 or visit dbacks.com/giveaway.
Outside corner, that's strike 3. Drew was frustrated a little bit with some of the calls against him late in the ball game. He's frustrated again. How does it feel?
Because think about skipping.
Born May 13th, 1985 in the Sacramento area, right-hander David Hernandez goes to work this past winter. Acquired in the Mark Reynolds deal. The scouting report, mid-90s fastball, a curveball. He'll change speeds on it. Last season saw a big jump in velocity when he moved from starting pitcher to relief pitcher. And the Diamondbacks made a run at him out of junior college in the 34th round, eventually signing the next year, being drafted by Baltimore in the 16th round. His name is David Hernandez. And he fires a fastball. That's a ground ball. Mora was already in a bit on Giannis. So a shuffle. Couple of steps over. One pitch, one out.
That's all you can ask for when you come into the game. Go ahead and throw the first pitch strike and hope the opponent is swinging. And hopefully it'll be hit right to Mora. This is actually a lot more difficult play than he made it look. Going to his left and in between hop, he just smothers it. And then across the diamond it goes. Nicely done.
Here's Juan Francisco. Now, if you've never seen Juan swing the bat, he loves to swing it. I mean, he'll turn it loose. Feels like it was a tough journey to get to the big leagues. Flew all the way out here to Arizona. He's not about to waste not swinging hard. Good looking curveball.
Well, if you can spin a breaking ball up there first pitch like that, he needs to put his hat on right.
The 0-1. Pitch is low.
Very good hitter, Francisco. Wears his hat terribly.
Bouncing ball out to first. Russell Branyan to the bag in time for the second out. Mike Leake did great work at ASU. He's already in the major leagues. Jumped there quickly last year, immediately skipping the minor leagues. He takes the bump tomorrow. Back in the great state of Arizona as he faces up with Diamondback Joe Saunders. It ought to be a fun one. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports Arizona. So Juan Francisco, nothing but a memory now. Barely got to know him as Drew Stubbs digs in. Fastball right down the middle. So far for Hernandez, 3 innings of work, 2 hits allowed, nothing, no runs as a Diamondback to this point. He jumps ahead 0-2.
He's just a strike machine out here in the top of the 8th inning.
In his minor league career, he made 109 appearances. And only 7 of those were out of the bullpen. So he was on track to be a starter. He hoped to be. Curveball's in.
Well, they all want to be.
But this has been a great fit for him. I mean, literally, his fastball jumped more than 2 miles an hour. And that's dramatic. When you're already throwing about 93 to jump to 95 average. Missed his spot, but got away with it. 1-2.
Montero wants this ball around the letters, but he gets it right around the thighs. That is just a center cut as you can throw a fastball. He was fortunate to get that one back.
The 1-2. Fastball protected.
That was a much better spot there from Hernandez.
Last year skewed as a big-time fly ball pitcher. So when he hits the bat, it's in the air, or at least last year the numbers told us that.
Good news, he's retired the first 2 Reds on ground balls this inning.
That's exactly right. They want it inside. Just missed.
Good pitch, though.
Osumis River College in the Sacramento area. Off speed, missed outside. That looked like a changeup.
That was a changeup.
Trying to get his team back in the dugout. The 3-2, a fastball he missed. In front of Brandon Phillips, a walk that may have him kicking himself just a little bit.
Well, and also you've got great speed on first base now, I would imagine. Stubbs going to be off to the races, try to get in scoring position. Well, if you could just pull a little 2-out lightning and give yourself a 2-run lead with the bullpen that Cincinnati has. Last year, at least, it stood up and stood up most of the time.
Popped it up where it will end up a souvenir down below. Aroldis Chapman will come on. He is warming all alone in the bullpen. Justin Upton will lead off the next inning. Last year he was not nearly as dangerous slugging the ball against southpaws. We've got to get there first. Two runs, 3 hits, an error for the Reds, just their second error of the season. A run on 8 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. They've left 7 on base, 5 of those in scoring position. Well, what a difference a change in scenery and literally just across the state of Ohio made for Brandon Phillips. As an Indian, he hit just .206, on base of .246. As a Red, he has hit .277 and an on base of .327. Has grown as a player, a person. Just at the right time, the move was made. Perfect pitch, 0-2.
Right at the bottom of the kneecaps, very well executed there by Hernandez.
Man, not afraid to speak his mind, not afraid to mix it up. That's Yadier Molina.
Said he hates the Cardinals. And he got reprimanded, but man, he didn't get reprimanded. But what's wrong with not liking your opponent?
I think that's a good thing.
Exactly. Started a brawl.
The Cardinals can be a bit sensitive at times.
No.
That pitch is up and away. 1-2 the count. He's not sensitive, that man. Say whatever you want. Kirk Gibson spent a portion of his press conference this morning with some hard slides and some pretty serious injuries around second base bag, talking about how he used to go in at second.
Oh, yes.
Pitch is low. 2-2 the count.
He used to have Ryan Sandberg and Sean Dunston peeking to their left when they were covering on a double play. Huge batter here for Hernandez with Joey Votto on deck. 3-2. I think the same situation as you saw with Drew Stubbs. I think Hernandez quickly got a couple of strikes and then started trying to strike him out rather than just get him out. Now he sits with a full count. Stubbs will be on the move here. And if Phillips finds his way on, Mr. Bato is going to get a chance.
Runner goes. That one dives right under the swing. Aroldis Chapman, he of the triple-digit fastball, getting ready to go. Justin Upton will face him right after this. Finally did in the 6th. Daniel Hudson, fabulous. Touched up, uncomfortable in the first. Owned the Reds after that. Speaking of owning, the proud owner of a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, his name is Aroldis Chapman. He goes to work. 6 feet 4 inches, 185 pounds of pure velocity.
He's got a little slider on as well as that triple digits fastball.
Was a boxer when he was a young man. His
What?
father used to train him. Didn't start playing baseball till he was 11, and originally from 11 to 15 was a first baseman.
That means he's a great athlete as well. So he can drill you in the ribs and then
Bring it on out.
And then beat the dog out of you, huh?
That's exactly right.
Man, that would stink. Get smoked in the ribs and then dotted in the eye.
Signed with the Reds in January of last year, a 5-year major league deal.
All right, let's see it. Here it is, folks. The best fastball in the game.
As he faces Justin Upton.
Oh, dear.
100 miles an hour, strike one. First pitch, 100. And the folks settling back into their seats, those that know the game, realize what they're looking at. Slider, a strike. Throws his slider about 2 out of every 10 pitches. This year again, he is averaging 99.6 miles an hour with that fastball. Fastball, ground ball. Long throw, got it. Upton rolls on the top of a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Chapman. And Al Branyan. Chapman left the Cuban national team at a tournament in the Netherlands back in July of 2009. Cuban team didn't confiscate the players' passports, an open door for Chapman, and he went right through it. .100.
Ooh, says the Chase Field faithful. I think that might have been what Russell Branyan was saying too when that went by.
Another fastball. Russell lifts it into left field, hanging up a long time. Russell Branyan took a 102-mile-an-hour fastball and picked up a Texas leaguer.
Now, a lot of folks wouldn't have the nerve to stand in there left-handed against the Cuban missile. But he hangs in there, he puts it in play, and when you put it in play, only good things can happen. If you don't, nothing good comes of strikeouts. You give yourself a chance. Yeah.
And I guarantee you that's all they're talking about over there, he and Votto.
Probably saying, has anybody ever hit this guy? And Votto goes, no.
Young lines it to center field.
That's just tough luck right there for Chris Young.
He just squared up 100 miles an hour. And Gracie did what you're supposed to do with it, correct?
Yeah, he smokes that ball right on the barrel. But unfortunately for Chris Young, it was right at Drew Stubbs. I mean, he puts a beautiful swing on that fastball. But just right in his tracks was Drew Stubbs.
So now Miguel Montero. .102 miles an hour, 0-1 the count. I'll never forget when Chapman made his major league debut last year. All eyes in that Diamondbacks locker room on every television set that was dialed into the game, including this young man in the batter's box.
Well, it's guys like this that you love to watch. Steven Strasburg had that kind of reaction from other major leaguers last year. Golly. Golly. Not only the velocity, but the command. I mean, this is perfect. Are you kidding me?
102 on the black.
Man, somebody's doing that, so just go home.
Ouch.
Oh, you got to run on that one, Russell.
That banged Hannigan pretty good there. That's a 103 in the dirt. Tell him that he has all kinds of protection when you get smoked like that. 1-2. Montero goes down on strikes. Tape room tonight, Matt, Eric, and Mike doing a fine job piecing together some of the pictures of this ball game. Juan Gutierrez goes to work on the flip side of Aroldis Chapman, throwing an average fastball about 101 miles an hour. The big Goot, making his 4th appearance of the year. He has allowed a couple of runs. They are unearned runs. Has had great command of his breaking ball again this year, and has gotten those first batters coming into the ball game with regularity. In all 3 appearances, he has retired all 3. Coco Cordero, the 9th inning. The closer will belong to the veteran right-hander, who will seem like he has no stuff at all in comparison to Chapman. They almost do him a disservice. Joe Patterson, young left-hander down there, Rule 5 pick of the Diamondbacks. Not an option, at least for the coaching staff tonight, despite Votto being 4 of 5 against Gutierrez.
This might have been one of those where you just bring him in for one batter, see what happens, and then remove him and let Gut maybe take over for and face Rolen and Gomes. But they're going to let Gutierrez face this dangerous 4-hole hitter.
Ouch, got a piece of his foot, pretty firm. He's going to walk that one off.
And that gives me time to remind myself that Joey Votto, well, he hits 3rd in the lineup. If you ever want to know what that feels like, folks, just go ahead and out in your garage, grab you out of your toolbox a ball-peen hammer. Just go ahead and just give yourself a nice whack right above your ankle area. That's kind of how it feels.
Probably shouldn't do that, though. 2-2 the count.
Make you not want to swing the bat, that's for sure.
3 hits for the Reds. Just 3 hits tonight.
Once again, Diamondback pitching staff doing a heck of a job on an offensive machine in the Reds.
Fastball is in. Full count. Have you ever tried that? Hit yourself with a ball-peen hammer like that?
No, but I did what Joey Votto did more than a few times.
The 3-2. He takes himself a walk, hobbles a bit in the initial stages, and trots down to first. So here in the 9th inning, he is on. This is the role in the bullpen that you and I have talked about in our 5th year together. To me, as important as a closer. If you hope to win some come from behind games, you can't give up anything.
That's exactly right. You've got to give your offense an opportunity. That's why I was a little surprised that we didn't see Patterson against Votto there.
Called a ball inside, 1-0 the count. A couple of years back, you may remember, folks at home, I know you do, Gracie, there was a reliever for the Diamondbacks, played that unique role. Didn't pitch well in a setup man or a closer role, but Juan Cruz was great in these situations. Down a run.
Down a run, he was fabulous.
Breaking ball to strike.
We called him the Ghost Rider.
We did.
Yeah.
He'd come in and just rear back and blow opponents away. It creates a little bit of momentum, too.
Yeah, it does. He was a guy that struck out a lot of opponents. And when you were down a run or two, he did a great job. It's when it was tied or you had that lead, it's when the demons came out.
Bouncing ball, knocks it down with a bare hand. Throws it away. Well, that's tough there. An error on the pitcher, knocked it down with his bare hand and then threw it away.
Well, he cost himself a double play by sticking that right paw up there. And a lot of times when you do that, well, it stings your hand or it hurts your hand. That's a double play ball. And then just got lazy with the throw, threw it away. And now you've given the Cincinnati Reds a real big time opportunity to blow this game open.
So the infield comes in, which makes Johnny Gomes that much more dangerous. Inside, 1-0 the count. He's walked, he's flied to left, he has struck out. Shot up that third base line. Gomes having one of those funky starts to the season. He's 2 of 17, but he's walked 11 times. He's been on base almost half the time. .448 on base percentage.
Which tells you he's not swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. He's making outs on strikes.
A few atom balls too, maybe.
That's what it's got to be.
In on the hands, off the glove of Moore, and that'll score a pair. So instead of a double play, a pitcher with the right effort threw the hand up, knocked it down, threw it away, and Gomes follows up. And instead of it being a 2-1 game, it's now a 3-run deficit. This ever important 9th inning in this role. This is why it's so important, pitching down a run.
Really nothing more it can do. That ball was scalded. Yeah. And that's what good teams do. You give them an opportunity, they kick the door in.
Curveball, strike one to Jay Bruce.
There's former Diamondback trainer Paul Lassard. Bear hug.
He went around there. 0-2 the count. What's going on down there? A little back cracking?
I guess so. Paul Lassard, the bald gentleman there. He was here for quite a few years.
A good man standing
Great
next to him.
man.
Brian Price as well.
Another former D-back pitching coach. He left when Bob Melvin was let go.
In support of his boss. Breaking ball bounces in there. Got to respect loyalty. 1-2. Bruce, another one. As a young man, mostly a first baseman. Like Chapman. Fastball high, throw down, couple of hops. Another error by the Diamondbacks.
I think it's time to go ahead and file that play away. I don't think I ever want to see it again. 0 for 2 with 2 errors.
A couple of times this year that pickoff attempt has led exactly what Gracie is speaking of, folks, to an extra base. Now with nobody out, the infield comes back in. That one into the dirt. Curveball, strike 3.
And on that play at second base, that's twice now we've seen it in the last few games. And they've tried it on Coy Hill, a backup catcher that's not going anywhere, and Johnny Gomes, another guy, a slow-footed outfielder that's not going anywhere. He's not trying to steal third in that situation. And neither play was close. Yet you try it anyway, and you end up throwing it away. It cost the Diamondbacks a run in Chicago, a run they ended up losing in a one-run game. And then tonight, there's not a real reason to try that. Now the good news is we'll never see that play again.
0-1 the count. Four to 1 the score. And it's 1-1 to Hannigan.
Darren, we were talking before the game. I think you and I both agreed that last night might be the best all-around game I watched the Diamondbacks play in the last 3 years. With the pitching, the offense, the defense, the confidence. And it ends up costing the Diamondbacks here the errors. And then tonight, unfortunately, it's been pretty much a 180. Other than Daniel Hudson's pitching tonight, the offense has really struggled. Now the defense starting to let themselves down. Juan Gutierrez has struggled here. It was really his own error that got him in trouble. And because of that, the Cincinnati Reds are kind of in cruise control now.
was. There was defensive miscues behind him, and also that he contributed to as well. Gutierrez struggled, certainly, and because of that, it's a big mountain to climb. Coming up on our Quest Diamondbacks Live, Kirk Gibson must-see TV. Looking forward to seeing what Gibby has to say about a couple of choices. Certainly, I would imagine he has high praise for Daniel Hudson, and we'll have a reaction to his effort as well. We know honesty is front and center when you listen to Kirk Gibson, so join us after the game. We're hoping when we hear from Kirk Gibson to have a full-sized Kirk Gibson in our post-game show.
Didn't have one last night, huh?
No, we had mini Gibby. Kind of a response. Cameras were set. Kind of a smaller Gibby is Sam Demmel. This is what we had last night in our post-game show.
I see. No, we'd rather have full-size Gibby.
I mean, it's hard to command a room at 3 feet 5 inches tall. When they're used to seeing him at 6 feet tall. He's always said, I'm not bigger than the game, and last night he proved it.
Yeah, that was unfortunately true last night.
The 1-0. Demmel outside, 2-0 the count. Sam Demmel out of Spring, Texas. Cut fastball. Sinking fastball, breaking ball as well. Hard ground ball, bad hop. Can he get anything out of it? That's a tough break there.
Well, that should go as a base hit. That was a hard hit ball and a bad hop.
Nothing you can do there if you're Stephen Drew.
There's not a shortstop in this game that's going to make that play. I don't even think Ozzie Smith makes that play. Let's see what they do. It should be a bad hop single. This ball just comes up and hammers Stephen Drew right in the shoulder.
Wow, that's ruled an error on the shortstop.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because there's not a shortstop in the game that's going to make that play. So that's going to pile on the errors, obviously, but trust me on this one. That play was almost impossible to make.
Goodness. Here's Chris Heisey. They're talking about Chris last night and the respect that a lot of people around the game have for him. A few years back, had a chance to cover him in the Rising Stars Arizona Fall League game. This time, though, he's out front, pops it up. Miguel Montero will run out of room. Heisey, a 17th round pick back in '06 out of Messiah College, a Division III school. Tells the story about wanting to play professional baseball, reading online that there were some tryouts nearby. His friend went on the internet as well. They found a couple of teams holding tryouts. And the friend finally begged Heisey to go with him. Come with me, come with me. And he found a scout that said he'd keep an eye on him his junior year from that tryout camp. Bouncing ball into center field. Heisey with a single, and the self-made ball player for the Reds has an RBI. In a 4-run night, it's 6-1. And here's Drew Stubbs. Stubbs tonight struck out a couple of times, grounded out to third, and walked. 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts last night. One 1-0 the count. I don't know why I can't get it out of my craw. I'm trying to say it with a smile. I cannot get over the fact that that was an error given to Stephen Drew. I still can't get it out of my craw.
It's unfortunate. That was it's just a bad. There's such a thing as a bad hop single.
You bet.
And that was one of them. And it's unfortunately the official score doesn't see it that way.
Well, that's too bad. The 1-0. Good pitch, a breaking ball, 1-1 the count. Literally jumped up,
caught him right in the shoulder.
Hit him right in the shoulder.
Yeah, so if that ball comes up and hits him in the teeth, is it a hit?
Well, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
The 1-1.
If it bounces over his shoulder, is it a hit?
Well,
of course it is. Kid does everything right, gets himself in front of it, takes the brunt of a hard hit bad hop. He's still trying to shake it off. And then he gets an error on top of it. Unlike home cooking.
Sorry, folks. A little laugh on a quick-witted comment there by my broadcast partner. 3-1 the count. Without intent, I effectively grabbed the spoon and just stirred it up pretty good.
Yeah, you got my ire up a little bit, and I thank you for that.
6-1 is the score. There have been 2 true errors in this inning. True as the day is long, but that wasn't one of them. And finally a break for the Diamondbacks, but maybe too little too late. Stephen Drew took one right in the shoulder. That was not an error, though he was given one. There was sloppy play this inning, though. The APS Energy All-Stars, the man who in all likelihood will have a W by his name, veteran Bronson Arroyo.
The bigger the situation, the slower he threw the baseball. He had these young Diamondbacks and even some veterans eating out of his hands every time they got in scoring position. So Bronson Arroyo, once again, a great job. And his Reds have a comfortable lead as we go into the bottom of the 9th inning.
Sweden loves the Diamondbacks. Oh, big D for the D-backs. Let's see what they have against Coco Cordero. Chris Heise is also in the ball game. He is in left field. Cordero on just a couple of times. First pitch misses low. 1-0 the count. Heise is in left field. Fastball not as quite as hard as it used to be for Cordero. Lost about 20 pounds this winter. Slimmed up. The veteran fires a strike, 92 miles an hour. Throwing a 2-seamer as well. That's something new. Throwing more changeups. That's something new. He used to be almost exclusively heat and a slider. Had some bumps in the road last year. Tried to reinvent himself a bit. Good breaking ball. Nothing wrong with having a little bit of youth and energy and a triple-digit fastball throw to invigorate you, make me reach down and find a little more.
Make you a little better, exactly.
Competition never hurt anyone.
He is a good one, though, Cordero.
I agree. Bouncing ball over to the Gold Glover, who shows his counterpart how it's done. Fine play there for the first out. Scott Rowland. We hope to see you on this homestand. This is just the beginning with these Cincinnati Reds. Diamondbacks won it last night. The Reds are having it in hand tonight. Then the St. Louis Cardinals come to town. After an off day on Thursday, the world champs visit the San Francisco Giants.
Doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. Who needs cupcakes? Those are for second-grade birthday parties. Love the card collecting. A big Reds fan down there. That's wonderful. Play some tough teams. See what you got. 1-1 the count. Staying organized. Keep that glove nearby now. There we go. Mom put the glove on. The 1-1. Out front. There's that changeup. That's a new look to his arsenal. Cordero last year saved 40 games and was questioned quite a bit with an ERA of 3.8. The year before that, saved 39 with a 2.16. Has 291 career saves. Had a chance to cover him in Milwaukee when I was there. As you said, he's a good one. Left a breaking ball up that time. It's lifted into left center field. Over to make the play is Heisey, working behind Stubbs. So we see Juan Miranda now, and we see him as a pinch hitter. We thought we'd be seeing him on a regular basis at first the other day. There was some talk about that in that Diamondbacks locker room, and we saw Nady start at first last night and Russell Branyan start tonight. But we see Miranda tried out as a pinch hitter in his 8th game as a Diamondback. 3 of 12 this year. Walked a couple of times too. Came over this past winter from the New York Yankees organization. Started opening day at first base. Reached a couple of times, singled, was hit by a pitch. "27 years old, Cuban born, makes his home in the Dominican Republic." 0-2. Mike Leake of ASU is on the mound for Cincinnati tomorrow against Joe Saunders. 1-2 the count. Speaking of ASU, wasn't tonight some behind the scenes color change, logo unveil?
No, that's Tuesday.
But there was some secret meeting tonight. The 1-2. Inside, 2-2.
I guess for those that can't wait 2 days.
There's Joe. You know people over there. I mean, before we go off the air, can you get a little rendering of it?
No, we'll have to talk to Jeff Munn about it, though.
Oh, good call. Jody Jackson's out there. She's hosting the post-game show.
Jody Jackson went to Miami.
Right, but, you know, integral involvement in the coverage of ASU on Fox Sports Arizona. And her husband organized tonight's event. Well, wait a minute now.
What?
And I was just fed that in my ear, and as I say it out loud, I'm wondering, where's our rendering?
You got me all confused.
The 2-2. Bouncing ball, middle of the diamond, behind the bag. Fielding, firing, and in time for the out. The Cincinnati Reds, it was a 2-1 ball game. We promised folks up until some sloppy play in the ninth inning. Then it got out of hand. It truly wasn't a blowout, but a sloppy ninth made it feel like a comfortable win for the Cincinnati Reds. Coco Cordero, no save, but he locks it down. We got to see Chapman hit 103 miles an hour, but Bronson Arroyo was fabulous tonight. Daniel Hudson in his outing, they get lost in all of it, unfortunately. The Diamondbacks drop below 500 at 3-4, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Let's get it on out to the post-game set. We're hoping to talk about the game and maybe get a look at that new ASU logo.